I am on location with paint on my face and all over my hands at the lovely and historic Empire Arts Center in Grand Forks, North Dakota. I'm being quiet because there is a gallery talk out in the gallery of the theater, but I have mentioned in a few community posts that I am working on a little project. So I had shared some live videos and get in touch with me and things like that with the last show that I was involved in, which was called The Home Show. And now I am directing the next show as part of the Empire Theater Company. It's called The Nut Lab, and it is written by, hello, Dion, welcome. It is written by Kathy Kudell King, who is the managing artistic director here at the Empire Theater. And so we are doing the Nut Lab. So she wrote this play, and it is based on, at our local university, University of North Dakota, we have a human nutrition lab where they do residential nutrition studies. Hello, Mama Champagne. And what they do is that, so you go and you live there and they control all of your food. So all of the food that you eat goes through them, and they test different nutritional things. The one that is part of this show is a fictional study about sodium reduction. And so we have our mad scientist, Dr. von Schlutzenberger, who is messing around with some test subjects that we have. So we have 4 test subjects that you get to know. You get to know Lenora and Bill and Jenny and Walleye. And so they are going to be part of this. Hello, fabulous Joe. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, so you get to know them throughout the course of the show. And so I thought, I had mentioned that we were maybe going to do some behind the scenes content. And so I thought now, today we had kind of a character rehearsal this morning, and now we are working on full construction. So I just painted for like 2 hours, which is why there's little bits of turquoise paint just randomly all over the place. I'm a messy painter. And so I wanted to give you you can kind of see the theater behind me. We have this beautiful, beautiful historic theater. And so yeah, it's very fun. It's this beautiful place. And now let me show you. So the first thing you're going to see, let me turn the camera around. Can I turn the camera around? Yes, there we go. So everything is kind of moved around. Nothing is in place. So it's a little bit messy right now. But the first thing you'll notice are these bushes. So we have these 2 bushes. And so basically what happens in the show is that these people are here doing this study, and they all have different reasons for being there. And that's some of the stuff you discover throughout the show, is that everybody is kind of there to get away from something or to accomplish something. So Bill is there because he's hiding from his bookie because he has a gambling problem. Lenora is there to kind of find herself. She's there to get away from her husband, Harry, who she's been married to for 33 years, and she's feeling a little bit dissatisfied. She feels like she's lost herself. Jenny is using the studies to pay for college, and Walleye is there. He used to be an investment banker, and he dropped out of society to be a beach bum and smoke pot and just be. And so he uses these studies to fund his beach bum lifestyle. And so most of the time we're in, you can kind of see back there, that's our observation booth. So most of the time we are in the clinic, and the study is about sodium reduction. And as they reduce the sodium more and more and more, our test subjects get a little bit crazier and crazier and crazier. It's called the Nut Lab for a reason. And so there's one scene towards the end where we go outside, and they're on this trip kind of walking through this park. And so I wanted bushes, because we need something to create kind of a barrier on the space so that people know, since we're going to a different space than just outside, or just in the clinic, we're going outside. I wanted to have a barrier so people knew where the limits of the space were. And I wanted these big bushes with these crazy flowers that were like way too big. Like, they don't make sense. They're so big. And so those are kind of our border bushes. And there's a hot dog stand, and there's a whole thing with a hot dog that is, it's really funny. It's going to be really funny. And so this is kind of the these are the bushes that we have. And yeah, the characters are really fun. So let me go, and then there's just random chairs because we have different scenes Um, Once we get up to the stage, let me take you up to the stage, and then we can kind of show you some of the other pieces. While we go there, I'm going to go over here to the side and show you. There's one set piece that we're going to get to in a minute that's got a bulletin board on it. And so Angie has been helping me. Angie did some of the painting for some of the things we'll maybe take a look at. But we're going to have a bulletin board. So this kind of big thing that's here, we're going to take a better look at that in a little bit. But that is, oops, I don't know what I'm doing to this camera. I'm so sorry. So sorry for that Blair Witch experience. But this is like a shower thing, and there's going to be a bulletin board. So we made a missing cat poster. And this is Angie's actual cat, June. And so this is one of those things I love to build in all kinds of little, hello ice cream cone. I like to build in weird little things that like, they're barely visible, but they're just there and they add a little bit of flavor. But I love this poster because we wrote this together and we were just laughing. Help us find our sweet baby June. She's friendly unless you sing to her. That's because I tried to sing to her one time and she did not like it. She answers to Juniper, Junebub, Potato Butt, and Your Highness. We love and miss her. Please bring our baby girl home, dead or alive. Mommy misses her. Dad is indifferent. And it just amused me so much. So I was like, we're going to put that. We also, Angie works at Diamonds on Demers. We're going to include that. Hello. So those are a couple of the little like Easter egg things that are going to be kind of hidden on the stage. And if we go up, we're going to see the basic layout of the stage. So most of the time when we're not outside, this is our observation booth. And so this, and then going down to the main part of the stage are the commons. That's going to be the commons area. So anytime we're doing anything as a group, we're going to be in the commons area. Then on each side, we have these platforms with just a little piece of the corner to kind of suggest a wall. We need to be able to move around the space more freely, so I didn't want to build full walls. Hello, Toward Edworld. Welcome. So we just put little corners on, and then we've got these beds. And so this is the men's dorm. And so there's going to be 2 beds up on this platform. And then if we go across, this is the women's dorm, and we have a bunk bed in here for Jenny. Hello, welcome from Brazil. Nice to meet you. So this is going to be Jenny's bed, because Jenny has some things where sometimes she's very calm and put together. She's a very serious student. And then sometimes she has some very childlike impulses. So I thought, of course, we have to put her in a bunk bed. And because this is called the Nut Lab, so everything's a little bit off. So when you look at it on the stage, these just look like beds, but they're too short to be beds. They're like 5 feet. And let me tell you, the number of people, men with tools, who looked at me like I was crazy when I was like, I don't need the bottom bunk to be usable. Like, I just need it to look like there's a bed there, but this can be too short, this little side piece. It's even taller than it needed to be. It could have been further down, but Jenny gets up here and she's up on our bunk bed a lot. And then this is Lenora's bed. We still have to paint and put all the sheets and all the laundry and everything. And then this is a piece that comes out for one scene. So we have the scene where we go to the park. We have a scene where we're in a locker room. And so here you can see we've got this doorway is going to the showers. And so I wanted to paint it. They had some turquoise paint, which I thought was perfect because it reminds me of like swimming pools. And so I thought I wanted that kind of turquoisey color that they give to swimming pools. And so this is the shower. And here's the magic of theater. Because of the way this is positioned, nobody can ever see this corner. So we just didn't paint the floor. And like the floor doesn't really need to be painted, but I'm one of those like kind of perfectionists where there's little things where I'm like, even if one person is at an angle where they see the floor, I don't want bare wood. I want it to be like painted some sort of color. And we had extra turquoise paint. So there we are. This is our shower, and we're gonna hang a shower curtain on this side. And so one of the characters, Brianna, she's the research assistant for Dr. von Schlitzenberger. She takes a shower, and so she comes out of the shower. So we're going to have, this will be painted. I have to find a color for this. I don't know what color the walls are going to be in the locker room, but I love a physical set. And so we have lots of pieces. And so Dr. von Schlitzenberger's assistant is going to come out of the shower, and then there's going to be a bench, and there's going to be a set of lockers, and there's a laundry cart where all the towels are, because somebody uses the laundry cart for shenanigans. So yeah, so this is kind of our behind the scenes. It's obviously we've got everything pulled around because we're trying to paint and do all of that kind of stuff. But we have this really fun film on here that I love. So it looks like a mirror. You can see how it's kind of reflective. It's a little funhouse mirror. It's not like perfect mirror. But when you hit it from behind with the light, it becomes translucent. So you can actually see through it. And so Dr. Schlitzenberger and Brianna have some scenes behind here where they're kind of watching over the test subjects while they're eating breakfast and while they're doing other things. They kind of observe them, and they get up to some shenanigans in there. And so it's really going to be fun, where it looks like a mirror and it just looks like it's part of the set. And then the first time we have somebody in there, we're going to hit it with a light, and you'll be able to see them in there and see all the kind of stuff that they get up to. So that is... And we did it this like awful institutional green. We've only got one coat on so far. We're gonna have to do another coat. But I wanted it to feel very mad science-y. I wanted it to feel very, come up to the lab and see what's on the slab. I wanted very that. So there is our institutional green. This is the wall where the bulletin board is gonna go. So when the shower comes out, this wall, it doesn't have anything to do with the plot, but I just thought, we've got this big wall that we needed to have it faced. Sorry, I'm not even showing you the wall. We needed to have it faced so that you couldn't see in and see the fake shower. And so I was like, well, since we have a wall there, why don't we put a bulletin board? And I thought, what kinds of fun things would be on a bulletin board at a lab like this? And so that's why I thought a missing cat poster. And I'm going to make a poster for like snow removal with the little phone numbers that you tear off at the bottom, and we're going to put some random business cards up there and different things. So I just thought it would be fun to create this, and I think I'm going to put the poster from the last show that I directed, which was called Proof, which I love, and so I still have the poster, and I think we're going to have the poster for my other show up on the bulletin board. So we're going to have this bulletin board that's just got fun little moments that is just there to exist, so that if people are looking around, it gives them some depth. It makes the space feel lived in. I'm going to turn this around because this is one of my like TED Talk moments where as a theater person, I believe if you're a director, these are my thoughts, just my thoughts, but I think that you have to care as much about the technical aspects of the production as you do about the acting. The acting is phenomenal. Like, you have to absolutely work with the actors and help them shape their performances. But I think you have to put them in a world that feels real. And I think that there are some productions that work with very simplistic staging where you can do projections. You could do like a blank stage and just have little like black box pieces that come off and on. I don't do that kind of theater. I don't. It doesn't have to be real. It just has to be. It doesn't. What's the thing that I always say? Because this always drives me nuts too. We'll talk about that. Is I always tell them that it doesn't have to be plausible. It just has to be possible. And so there are a couple times where we consciously break some of the physics of the space just because we need to get everybody on. Hello, Lily Clouds. How are you doing? And so there are times, but I need things to be possible. So what that means is that there was this set, and I wrote about this. I used to do more theater reviews on my website, and I did a review of this show, and it drove me crazy because there was basically, it was a big room. So it was supposed to be happening at this house, and there was a big room, and there was a door to the kitchen, And then you could see the counter on the kitchen. So when you walked in, you had to go to your left. But in the main room, immediately to the left of the kitchen door, was an outside window with an air conditioner in it. And I was like, so you're just venting your air conditioner to the kitchen? Is that what you're doing? I'm good, Lily Clouds. I am directing a show, and so I wanted to do a little behind the scenes tour of some of the stage and some of the pieces that we're working on. And so I don't need it to be plausible. Like it doesn't have to be something that would happen. Like these bunk beds are not plausible. Like you wouldn't in a professional in some sort of like a nutrition lab, they wouldn't have a weird bunk bed like that, right? But it works for the character and it's possible. It's something that works in the space. And so that to me is what's important, is that it just has to be possible, not plausible. That's what I care about. And there are a couple times where I've made peace with it because we do have to kind of break some of the physics of the space. Because like the last scene doesn't happen in the commons room. It happens in the men's dorm room. And the men's dorm room, like the way that we've got it set up, just isn't big enough to have the entire cast on it. And so we just can't do it. Hello, That's right. That's right. Yes, Kathy, the playwright, was in the gallery talk that's happening. I think it's over now because they're opening up the doors, so I don't have to worry as much. Sometimes I get shushed because I'm very boisterous, and so sometimes it goes a little bit too far. But yeah, hello, Alex. How are you doing? Welcome, welcome. Yeah, so I think you need to have like a real space. It needs to, even if you're doing minimal set, it needs to feel like a place that somebody would inhabit. It needs to feel like those characters belong there. Whether you're minimalist with the set, whether you're maximalist, it has to feel like a place that these characters would be. And the costumes have to look like everybody belongs to the same world, and they have to, and so that's been a big part of like putting this together, is like, how are we going to have the costumes progress? These poor actors, I have them changing so many costumes. Oh, I just love it. And so Kathy, come hither. We'll introduce, this is Kathy Kudell King, who is the playwright. Let me go ahead and turn it around.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi, who am I talking to?
You were talking to my whole YouTube audience, literally fives of tens of people that have come to find out what I have to say on the internet.
Wow, hello. Well, I just came back from a talk by the Human Nutrition Lab Real Scientists, and I learned that there's a few things that I definitely took liberty with. For example, we have 50 subjects in our study in the play. Only 4 actors, though, are represented. And I learned that they usually only did 14 subjects. And when you stop to think about the logistics of having 50, it does make sense. We have a nurse who takes blood draws from the 4 actors.
Every 6 hours.
Every 6 hours. So now I'm kind of picturing what that would look like on the stage with 50 subjects.
That would be a lot.
And it was very unusual for them to have co-ed. It was very unusual. But they did say that the post-menopausal women were the best subjects. They followed the rules, and the men tended not to follow the rules, which is true in the play.
Which is very accurate to the play.
Yes.
Yes. So the show is called The Nut Lab. Hello, Ellie Mae. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, the show is called The Nut Lab. Do you want to give us your elevator pitch for the show?
Sure. The Nut Lab is complete cotton candy. There's nothing nutritional involved in the Nut Lab. It's just pure silliness to break up the doldrums of winter. It's a little frisky. It's a little naughty. And I picked the best person to direct it. If it was naughty when it began, it's even naughtier now.
Yes, there were suggestions of naughtiness at the beginning. We have made them all explicit and
Yes,
have really
so much naughtiness.
Yeah, so much naughtiness.
Yes, so they will definitely have a good time. And then if some people walk out, they'll even find that funny. I'm sure you'll find that funny.
Yep, I enjoy that. Yep, I always say, you rolls your dice, you takes your chances. If you want to leave, you can leave, but we've got your money and you're not getting it back. So,
That's great. No refunds.
No refunds. Yes, so definitely make sure you come out here to the Nut Lab. Thank you, Kathy.
Yes, you're
I think you
welcome.
have some folks that are coming to talk to you. Um, yeah, so we are going to be opening this Thursday, which is why I'm painting like a mad person today, and we're going to paint tomorrow. I don't care about the Super Bowl, so I'm going to paint tomorrow. And so yeah, we are painting and painting and painting, and we've got costumes ready. We've got props. We open on Thursday, the 12th, and we run the 12th through the 15th. So we're at 7 p.m. on Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Sunday, there is a 2 p.m. matinee. And then the week after, so it's going to be the 19th, 20th, and 21st, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, we're at 7 o'clock. There's no matinee on that last Sunday. Because apparently the orchestra has to be on stage. Let me tell you, I haven't even met this person from the orchestra, but she's been causing me problems. This is a shared space. I just keep telling myself it's a shared space. We're all here to make art and be friendly, and some people are less friendly, and some people have lots of demands, and so we just are sharing the space. It's fine, but yeah, I'm very excited, and yeah, apparently she complained about my set. She was like, some places do projections. I was like, and I wish I had been there when she said that, because I would have been like, well, they should have hired somebody who does that then, because I don't. But yeah, so I am a little bit more of a maximalist on the set. So obviously I like lots of set pieces, lots and lots of fun things. That side wall is not painted yet. I don't know if we have enough of the green paint to do that, but if we have to do that in gray, we'll do it in gray. So it feels like we have a lot to do, but it's a lot of flat surfaces, and like the beds are all gonna have bedding on them, so we don't have to actually paint the platforms of the beds. We just have to paint the legs, and then we have to paint, like, the platforms need to be painted. So now that I've gotten into the corners, those like corners were kind of a little tricky, and they're not painted very well, but also I don't really care because they're kind of covered up by the beds, and I don't want it to look like freshly painted. I want it to look like it's paint that's maybe been there for a while and that isn't perfect. And so I like that so some of them, like that wall, we might go over a little bit more. But some of these, and like the observation booth, I maybe want to be a little bit more crisp. But yeah, so this is exciting. Very, very exciting. Let's take a little walk and I will show you our prop table. So there's lots of tape on the floor. Again, I have so many little things. With the men's dorm and the women's dorm, we didn't build walls all the way out, but there is a doorway. And people kept walking through where the walls would be. So I had to put these tape are like the doorway to the men's dorm. So if you're coming in, there's like this hallway, you have to come down here and then you have to come to this doorway. So I know that that's open and you could just walk into it, but people need to follow the physics of the space. And so you just kind of come in and you come through the doorway. Oh, Lily, I'm glad that they cheer you up. I'm excited. I'm glad that I'm glad that somebody finds some use out of me just being loud and mouthy on the internet. Yeah, so here we have, as we go across, we're gonna go and look at our prop tables. So here you're seeing really behind the scenes. Angie created some sea creatures for us. There's also a sea creature scene. That's the backside of our sea creatures. They're very fun. I'm very excited for people to see them. We have a scene where there's kind of a flashback. We've got our rack of costumes. So we've got all kinds of, like I said, I make these, there's 9 people in the show total, and a couple of them are lucky because they're like the 2 that play the nursing assistants, they just have to wear scrubs. So like Patty who plays Nurse Jean, she has the same set of scrubs for the whole show, and she just has a different, her theme is kind of like 90s. She's like that grunge girl that just like never came out of it, and she's got like a black wig with like a blunt bang. The kind of bang that when you see it, like if somebody posts a picture of a bang like this, it's the kind where on the post on social media, you'll be like, you go girl, you rock it. And then you text her and are like, are you okay? It's that kind of like blunt bang. So she only has one set of scrubs, but she keeps putting different flannels with it. So she's always got like a flannel wrapped around her waist. We've got This is Dr. von Schlutzenberger. She's got browns. We wanted browns. Brianna is always in shades of red. Bill is always in shades of green. So some people have like an anchor color. Lenora is always in pinks and purples. And then Jenny just has like bright comic book colors. So she's got like 2 blue tracksuits, a yellow tracksuit. She's got a Batman robe. And so that's kind of her deal. And so as we go around, so here is our prop table. This is some of Jenny's stuff. As you can see, she gets very childlike. So there's going to be lots of little things. We do have a disco ball that makes an appearance. That's from my personal disco ball collection. This is something that I had my mom send this to me. Again, this is a little Easter egg. This is Paul Offreth is my grandpa. And so he is no longer with us, but when he was, he had these 2 vintage D-class tractors, and he put them together, and he would go to like threshing shows and stuff, and he had his double Ds. And so, hello, Don, how's it going? And so he had these hats made that had double D, Paul Offreth, Bowells, North Dakota. And so there's a character that's going to be wearing this, and I thought it was really funny, not only because I wanted this little Easter egg, I wanted this little like nod to my grandpa, but also this show is kind of very sexy. You know, Kathy noted that it was a little bit naughty to start with. We made it even naughtier. And so I like that this is double D, because obviously that has a sort of double entendre to it. And so we have the double D in there. Your phone played a year-old video. You know what? That's the thing. If you teach the algorithm that you like old content, it will show you old content. Like, people will say like, oh, once it's been a certain amount of time, nobody watches my videos. I can tell you that the same thing happens to me, is that like, I get videos that are 3 years old, 5 years old. If it's a creator that I watch their old content over again, the algorithm will give it to me. So it really is about training your algorithm. Thank you, Lily. I appreciate that. It's been several years, but I just, you know, I wanted, anytime I can work in little references to family stuff as well, I always like to do that. This is a little tray. That's the thing is, again, it's one of those things that it's just there for me and the actors, and like maybe one person will catch a glimpse. This like Ouija board tray, this is from an artist. Their business name is Puking Badger Designs, and she made me this beautiful like water. It's got water in it and glitter, and it's got a little planchette that like rolls around. And our beach bum, there's a couple times where he is making, he's rolling joints, and so this is his joint rolling tray. And so like nobody can really see it. He's also got some bongos. Very beach bummy. A lot of these characters, what I like about this show, let's go back into the theater. So those are some of our, here's some other things. Here's our laundry cart. Here's our set of lockers. And we have a hot dog cart that shows up. And so that is our fun little hot dog. That's his hot dog hat. And we got this from, let me do a little advertising for them, because we appreciate that they let us borrow this. Dog Mahal, Dog House. If you ever come to Grand Forks and you want a fantastic hot dog, they make these like gourmet hot dogs. They're so good. Don't do it. Don't do what, Levi Miller? I always say do it. I say bad choices make good stories. That's my favorite thing. This pillow is one of Jenny's pillows. Jenny has lots of things. A lot of her stuff is not even like called out specifically, but she's just gonna have so much stuff on her bunk bed. It just tickles me. It absolutely tickles me. But yeah, so let's go back out here. Observation booth again. And now that I've gotten here, I forgot what we were going to talk about. We were going to come out so I could talk about something, but I don't remember what it was. We were talking about the show. We were talking about the characters. We were talking about the props. Does anybody remember what I said I was going to talk about? New meaning to clutch your pearls, having pearls as the board. Yeah, exactly. And there's lots of pearls because I know that pearls have a sort of, in certain contexts, have a certain sexual connotation. So we have lots of pearls that show up throughout. There's some disco dancing, there's some hanky panky, there's some things, and I just love it. So I really told the cast at the beginning, I told them, I was like, find your characters. I'm going to give you like what I'm looking for. I'm going to give you the broad description of what I'm looking for. And then you're going to find your character. You're going to, read what's in the script and see what you can like add to it in terms of flavor. And we'll kind of do it. And I said, just for this show is not serious. We're not making a documentary. Nobody's coming to the show to find out how things really work in a nutrition lab. Like that's not what we're here for. I look like a marshmallow in a cute way. Well, thank you. I'll take it. I've been called worse. Like a marshmallow. I like it. Yeah. And so I told them, I was like, make big choices. Because as a director, I would much rather that somebody make a really big, crazy choice and, really, really like make a big choice and I have to pull them back than to go too little. And we have to keep saying more and more and more and more. Hello, pickled squiddies. Could I beat a goose in a fight? I don't know. I hear that geese are mean. Gooses? Goosei? I don't know what the plural is. It's geese. It's geese. I do know what it is. Master's degree. I know what the plural of goose is. But I don't know. They're mean. So I don't know if I could win a fight with a goose. I am a drag queen. I'm not a drag queen right now. Right now I am busted looking because I've been painting for a couple of hours. So I'm in my grubby clothes. Hello, Zara. Yes, well, definitely subscribe to my channel then, Crystalline, because I do, when I'm not painting a stage and talking about theater, I'm North Dakota's trash queen of glam, geek, and gore. So we do a lot of makeup content. We do fun lives. Dion, who's in the chat, she and I often do content together. I haven't seen Grace pop in yet, but sometimes Grace and I collab, and Grace, Dion, and I sometimes do group collabs. But we do lots of makeup. I'm also geek and gore, so sometimes we do some like horror movie stuff or vintage toys. So we have a lot of fun. So usually I'm much more glamorous. When I'm doing a filmed video, it's more glamorous. I'm in full face. When I do the lives, it's just kind of, you get what you get. I'm so sorry. You get the potato face serial killer. But yeah, so it's gonna be a good show. I'm pretty excited. And yeah, we're gonna have fun. Is that Deb? Hello, Deb. Hello. We're just on the YouTube lives talking about the Nut Lab. Yep. Yeah. Yeah, it's a little bit torn apart right now. We moved everything around so we could paint but yeah, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. Yeah, so next week, because we open. I'm gonna turn this around. You can say hello. This is Deb. She is the outgoing, or has gone out. Did it already happen?
I'm out.
You're already out. The former executive director here at the Empire Theater and the Enpire Arts Center. And we have Bert is lurking over here too, behind the chairs. And he does everything. What is your actual title?
No, I like everything.
Everything? Yeah, there's just everything.
I'm an operations manager here.
Ah,
Make
gotcha.
sure everything's operated.
Perfect.
Wealth of sins, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's all kinds of things. So yeah, so they're just popping in. I think you're probably at the gallery talk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pop in and see your set.
Yeah.
See the show. I will.
Yeah, definitely come see us. We're gonna have a good time. So yeah, so we're having a good time. So yeah, next week is Tech Week. We start with full runs with full costumes, props, everything on Monday. Yeah, it's down to the wire. We're less than a week, so Yeah, but that is kind of the full stage. You got to see all the little set pieces. I probably, one of the nights after rehearsal, once we've got everything painted and everything is back in place, I'll give you a less chaotic tour of the backstage area once things look like how they're going to look and it's not a bunch of bare wood and things are placed where they're going to be. I'll give you another little tour. And I think next week we will also meet some of the actors. I think after rehearsal, each night we'll pull a couple of the people and you can meet the people who are playing Dr. von Schlutzenberger, Brianna, her assistant, Nurse Jean and Greeley, who are the two orderlies, Bill, Lenora, Walleye, and Jenny, and then maybe a secret ninth person. Maybe. We'll see. I'm kind of keeping the ninth person as a little bit of a surprise. So we haven't really done much with them. But yeah, so I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you liked it. Zara, I do know Turkey. I've never been there. I almost ended up going to Turkey on a work trip. There was a trip that was happening, and I was on the list, and then I forget there was some sort of conflict or something in my schedule, and so I didn't get to go to Turkey, but I am aware of it. So, I do make a cameo, so I'll tell you about that. I do make a little cameo, and so when they go outside, what we're doing, because you saw the bushes, let me take you around to show you the bushes one more time, and so. These bushes, when they go outside, this is pretty late in the study. So at this point, they're going really, really, really nutty. And so we wanted things to just be really crazy. So we've got these bushes with the huge roses. Becky, who is our set painter, did an amazing job with these. They're exactly what I want. And so she put together these great bushes. And there's the hot dog cart is going to be over there in that corner. That's where we have the hot dogs. So that we're outside and things are getting really, really wild. And so as they are coming in, so this is going to be one where the test subjects are on a supervised visit. So they're actually going out and wandering around this park. But Greeley has to chaperone them because they can't get into any trouble because they are not allowed to eat or drink anything that is not part of the study. And that's going to be key to that scene. So I think you can figure it out. There's a hot dog cart. So then chaos ensues. But so we're going to have weird lighting and it's going to be very odd. Oh, my cameo. I was like, where was I going with this? And so that's where they also, like, their costumes are the brightest that they've been throughout the show. Like, it's just going to be very saturated. And so we're going to have a couple people. So Katie, who is our stage manager, is going to make a little cameo where she goes to the hot dog vendor and buys a hot dog and then just exits. And I am going to have a little cameo where I'm going to have binoculars. And so I'm going to kind of enter and walk across the front. And I'm going to be, like, looking up and with my binoculars and doing some bird watching, and then I'll like slowly drift down and I'll see the audience and I'm gonna be like, ugh, gross, and be like horrified, like, ooh, people, I'm here for birds, and then I walk off. And so that's my little cameo because we need to fill a little bit of space so that they have time, because that's the one thing about the show is that almost except for Dr. and Brianna, and a little bit with Greeley and Jean, but like for the test subjects, they're in like pretty much every scene. And so giving them time to be able to change their clothes and get around the backstage and to the back of the house, they can enter through the house. We need to kill a little bit of time. And so we're going to have a couple, those little cameos. So like Katie will come out and buy the hot dog, and we're going to have some like environmental sounds, so we'll have some like bird song that's going to be a little bit off, and I'll do my little cameo with the bird watching, and yeah, so that'll be kind of fun. So I do get to make a little cameo in the show. So, and I have little like object cameos. So like my proof poster on the bulletin board is going to be like a little cameo. There's also little things that, like, again, I like to make theater for the one person who's going to notice this. There's a piece of jewelry. So when I directed Proof, my friend Hannah was in it and she played Kathy, who is kind of the main character. And there's a scene where there's been a funeral, and so she's in a black dress. So most of the time she's in just like scrubby clothes around the house. And then for the funeral scene, it's her father's funeral, so she's in a black dress. And I had this vintage necklace that I found at a thrift store that I've just had for years. And it's like this gold chain with a little pendant that's a magnifying glass. It's got little purple stones around it, and it's a little magnifying glass. And so she wore that in the funeral scene in Proof. because her dad was a mathematician. It was a very academic family. And so I was like, I want her to have this kind of odd pendant that looks old, it looks vintage. And so we did that. And so now we found a scene for Dr. von Schlutzenberger to wear the pendant in that scene as well. So if Hannah comes to the show, which I hope she will, we'll see if she notices that the doctor is wearing her pendant from Proof. So there's little things like that. There's little things. Again, I just like to build whole worlds. And so like Jenny, there's kind of a flirtation between Jenny and Greeley that is part of the whole plot. That's kind of fun. But I decided, I was like, I'm just going to make Jenny canonically pansexual. So I was like, because there is a little bit of queer content in here. Kathy already built some. Hello, Duran. Thank you. I appreciate that. I hope I said that correctly. Darren. But yeah, so there's a little bit of flirtation, but I was like, we're going to make Jenny canonically pansexual. And so I just went on Amazon and I bought a pansexual pride flag pillow. And like one of the pillows on her bed is going to be the pansexual pride flag. And so if you know what that is, like if you know, you know. Hello, Anna Boo. Welcome. Nice to see you. Jesus, your Lord and Savior within you, don't feel what? I do feel. I feel all the things. I'm an actor. I have all the emotions. What did she say in the First Wives Club? I have emotions. I'm an actress. I have all of them. And so, yeah, so we're going to have a good time. And so Jenny's just going to be pansexual. And if people notice that, then they're going to catch that. So like those little things, if you ever come to one of my like theatrical shows, look at the set, because just know that like everything that I put on a set is there for a reason. Nothing is there accidentally. I like to have little bits of things. Oh, okay, we're getting a whole sermon. Jesus come, everything is going to all right. Everyone have learned from Jesus something right. Jesus is coming. Oh, thank you, Darren. Appreciate that. But the sermon can end. That's all right. We don't need any more. That's a lot. And it's not entirely coherent, but I'm glad that your faith brings you joy and peace and all the things that it brings you. We appreciate you. Thank you for stopping by. But I should get going because I have to come back here again tomorrow to do more painting. And so I think I need a little bit of a break. And so I want to make sure I get all the brushes wrapped in plastic so we can use them again tomorrow. And yeah, I'm not a Superb Owl fan, so we're not going to be doing that. But I hope everybody is doing well. Let's see if I remember my intro when I'm in a whole new, or my outro when I'm in a whole new place. Don't forget, replay crew, you rock. So don't forget after this is done to go and circle back. It may take a few minutes for me to make it public. Oh, okay. We're talking about demons. So now you gotta go. I know we're at the end, but you're still gonna go, so you can't come back. Okay. Yeah. Okay. There you. Goodbye. Thank you and goodbye. So yeah. So replay crew, you rock. We appreciate you. Definitely come back, circle back, leave that comment, and tell us what you think. Tell us what you thought about this. Definitely watch for a live coming soon where we show you the set all put together and you get to meet some of the actors. While you're down there leaving me that comment, don't forget to give me that thumbs up to tell me that you appreciated the video. Or if you think that I'm a mess, if you think my choice of institutional green is terrible, you can also give me that thumbs down. It is all engagement. The algorithm isn't a picky bitch, and neither am I. And while you're down there, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and hit the bell icon so you'll be notified of all future uploads. I try really hard to make sure I have at least one video or live per week, and sometimes, if you're lucky, if you're very lucky, you might even get a bonus video. Ooh, theaterific. If you'd like to chat, banter, or commiserate between uploads, all of my social media will be linked down in the description box below, including a link to my website. Just pretend it's there and also pretend I have two hands, but one of them's holding the camera right now. The World of Champagne at JanessaJ.com. It's much smoother when I do it in a filmed video. Thank you, everybody, for stopping by this live. I hope you enjoyed this little backstage. I was like, do I do a live today? It's so chaotic, but it's like, you know what? If you've ever done live theater, this is the chaos of live theater. By the time the curtain opens on opening night, it's going to be perfection and everything will be a well-oiled machine. Knock on wood, we all hope. But right now it is chaos. We're getting into tech week, so things are getting painted, they're getting moved, they're getting labeled, they're getting, all the tape on the floor to show us where to put them. We're working in the backstage to figure out where to put them when they're not on stage. So I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you had a good time. I certainly did. And until I see you again, bye. All right, now to shut this off up here. All right, bye-bye.